Today's the day, dude. I cannot believe that we are
finally
starting to somewhat make a difference in the property as we prepare for this pole building build. We still don't have all the permits secured yet, but they're all in process. So being that we have a lot of different people that are gonna be willing to help contribute to essentially everything that we need to do, we're gonna get an earlier start. Today, my friends, is the very exciting time as we're preparing the grounds for where the building's gonna go. So we've got our rough stakes, we've got our front left corner, back left corner, front right corner right behind the gooseneck here, back right corner there in front of the little storage shed. That's kind of our rough in for the building. And today we are going to essentially be felling the trees that we need to for this process. So we're essentially going to start at this beech tree right here on the left, and we're going to take it all the way down ultimately to where my septic clear out is back there. We're going to leave 2 trees that I plan to use one day for building Jack, little Jack, a badass tree house. And then essentially behind that is what we're going to be clearing out. We've got some stormwater management stuff that's going to have to go back there. So the plan is we're actually going to start in the back. We're going to start felling from there, and then we're going to work our way up to right about here. It is kind of sad to see some of these trees go, as I really like the cover, I like the privacy, but you kind of have to look at the end and completed goal, and that is a beautiful building in place and the fact that we could always plant more trees and do some landscaping after the fact. So right now it's really just a matter of trying to kind of shape the ground for what it is that we're looking to do with it. And I've looked forward to this day for a very long time. We've got my buddy out, Forrest, today. He's actually a professional timberer. He's going to help make really light work of the felling of the trees. We've got Jake out here. Everyone's rocking their high vis. Safety's obviously the priority out here. The skiddy's going to be getting a lot of work today, and we might even be running the old cat excavator a little bit to do some grubbing of the ground, some rocks, maybe some de-stumping and stuff like that. So this vlog is predominantly going to be dedicated to the kickoff of what is and probably going to be a pretty drawn out shop build process just because of everything that goes into something like this. But today is the kickoff, my friends, and it's very exciting.
Freaking finally.
Finally.
Many
It's been 4.5 months. 4.5 months.
Also, I just noticed we have the same exact bruise.
Are we bruising like bananas together?
Oh wait, wrong side. We don't have the same exact bruise. I think, unless it disappeared. Hey, I'm just gonna shut up.
I don't even know how I got that bruise. I'm a little freaked out right now. Got filled up on all of our off-road diesel. It's pretty cool. We've got a local delivery service, so I set the skiddy with the transfer tank up here at the top of the property, and they just go ahead and fill up the tank and the machine for me. So we're fueled up and ready to rock and roll for today's activities. Happens to be a Saturday too, and you know, the myth is Saturdays for the boys. It's gonna be a pretty dang good Saturday. We gotta run in here real quick, grab the grease gun. I think my tube is about out too. Grab paper towels, because grease is always a mess. Oh my God, guys, I'm so freaking excited. Like, you have no idea. This is actually happening. It's a dream come true. Grab ourselves some gloves. I just greased up the machine the other day, but we're gonna be using it a lot today, so I'm gonna throw a new tube in here and get this thing all ready to rock and roll. Forrest makes light work of this work. It's pretty cool. He's a professional timberer, 3rd generation in the business, and his name's Forrest. I mean, how much more badass can that be? That chainsaw is gonna be a common sound for the day, boys, so get used to it. There it goes, boom. This whole property's about to look a heck of a lot different. I know, it's dead.
Yeah, when you hit it with that other tree, you can see it was dead as all could be.
Yeah. Last thing you want to do is take down a piece of history like that, but for whatever reason, it's suffocated. I don't...
It's actually more dangerous being there right now.
It's more dangerous.
I want to push it. Yeah. What do you Alright guys, well the grapple bucket for the skid steer, I think it's finally had enough. Fortunately, Messick's right down the road, they have one in stock. So we're gonna get Lucifer hooked up to the gooseneck, cause Jack can't pull with his F450 yet. Which sucks, but I tell you what, that's gonna be a nasty combo. So let's get this all hooked up. Completely honest with you guys, I did not see that going that well. Can't say I've ever hooked up, well, no, I've hooked up a couple of times to a gooseneck. Definitely not many to be able to do it. First freaking try like that. I'm impressed.
All right, boys, we're taking a small little detour from the action here because sad day. Not only because we lost one of my favorite trees on the property, real old, I think it was an oak tree. It was dying and we didn't want to just have it standing. It's kind of a little bummer because I was hoping that it was going to come back to life this year. Celebrating the life of our grapple bucket, man. That grapple bucket's done a lot. It came from an equipment auction. It wasn't a name brand. Wasn't the best build in the entire world, but it did its job. And unfortunately today, it just decided that it was done. All the pins are loose. All the brackets are tweaked out. It doesn't hold grease. One of the lines is beginning to leak. All of that stuff is relatively fixable, but the actual attachment plate is shot. Like, it just keeps falling off every time you tip the bucket forward. It boom, falls off. For an application like today where we really need to move a lot of material in the day that we have, as the day continues to kind of creep and creep and creep hour by hour, we are going to grab a new grapple bucket. We're headed to our local neighborhood friendly Messick dealer. They've got a few options for us. We'll see what they got. Is this one spoken for? Because I do a fair amount of derooting and grubbing. I'd rather run those carbide teeth into the ground than the spikes because these are more likely to bend. I mean, they're still strong, obviously. Yeah, I think that this will be the one that we'll want to go with. All right, guys, fortunately they had a grapple. Messick's is absolutely awesome. This is like my neighborhood Kubota dealer, which is a big reason that I ended up going to Kubota. And looks like we discovered some random enthusiasts here hanging out. This dude peeping out of his little forklift there. That's awesome, man. Yeah, this is the giveaway truck, actually. So first time hooking it up to the trailer, too, and it looks so good. Oh, my goodness. So we dressed it up from top to bottom. We did a custom with our logo engraved power steering fluid cylinder cap here. But it's also got one of the first Stealth 67 VGT turbos in the country. It's that specific product, so they actually sent us out one early before the whole market, which was pretty cool. We have a ton of fun building them, and like this right here is just what makes it all worthwhile. Everyone just kind of checking it out and appreciating it, you know what I mean? It was nice chatting, gentlemen. Good meeting y'all. Take care. You guys ever seen what $1 million looks like? Yeah. Well, with wood prices the way they are right now, this right here is $1 million bucks. All right, there she be. Brandy spanking new. About to get put to work. Blue jean, blue sky kind of day, my friends. Can't beat it. And the fact that you guys can win this thing and 30 G's. Plus the KTM promotion ends tonight, guys. So if you want to get entered for this 30 grand and the KTM 500, that ends tonight, 4:27 Eastern Standard Time.
The doctor, I got a 6 cents for imposters, so now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. 30. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I
Loaded up and ready to rock and roll. Always a pleasure over here at Messick's. They do have a YouTube channel too if you guys want to go check it out. And Neil's a good friend of mine. He is the face of their YouTube channel. Man, he shares the same passion for equipment that I do. Man, it's the coolest thing too, because you can just tell that everybody over here is just so passionate about equipment, man. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, boys, new day. We put in the work yesterday, to say the least. We had a whole bunch of people up here, so it was kind of hard to film intermittently as the trees were quite literally falling faster than a rate that I could keep up in my skid steer. So I was just trying to move as much as I possibly could because I didn't want to get myself into a situation where there was a tree stacked on a tree stacked on a tree, because then when you're trying to clear everything out, when you have that amount of material all stacked piled up, it becomes an almost impossible task, at least with a skid steer. Even though it's a big skid steer, it would have been increasingly more difficult. So got a lot of that GoPro footage that you guys had seen there before, and we are going to continue moving lumber here and trying to clear house. To all of my professional loggers out there in the audience, if there are any of you guys, drop some comments below. Let me know how we're doing. Here's a quick update for you guys. It has opened up the property so much. Funny story, so much actually, that last night I walked out of the house a few times and just looked over here and tried to realize, like, this is actually my property. It's a surreal moment because all of this has kind of gone unexplored. It was somewhat of a, I don't want to say a wasteland. It was really kind of somewhat uncharted territory for two primary reasons. A majority of the ground brush is actually briars. Briars have real big thorns. And then the second reason is actually the ticks. We've got really, really bad tick issues up here on the property, mostly because, well, A, it's never been treated, and B, it was mostly just untouched woods, which is a haven for ticks. So all of this kind of happened at a really funny time where actually the other day when I came out and I staked out the building, we've got one stake there, one got somewhat demolished over there, we've got one up here, and then one under this here beech tree. I walked out of this small patch of woods with 7 ticks on my clothes. There was a few on my jeans and a few on my shirt, and I actually got bit twice last year by ticks. I went out and got checked, and I don't have Lyme's disease, fortunately, but being that I love to be outside, my son's gonna soon be outside, and of course the dogs are constantly running around outside, it was like almost I had an immediate vendetta to come out here and just start this clearing project even sooner. So I still got a fair amount of work here to knock out. It rained last night, so the ground is very much just a soggy, disgusting mess. But for the sake of time, I just want to kind of continue to move forward on this. Not like the ground really matters all that much. I'm not really trying to keep it all that pretty right now, mostly because it's just a construction zone, but we've got a lot of clearing still left to do. There's a whole bunch of logs down here that need to make their way up to the front of the property, as a local mill is actually going to harvest a lot of the lumber for their specific clients and whatever it is that they focus on. And then a majority of the branches with leaves and kind of the smaller brush and I'm going to call it kindling needs to go back into what is a rather large accumulation already of timber, as you can see. Yeah, that's a real big brush. We're gonna have to burn that off in increments. Control burns are definitely a big helping hand when it comes to clearing out stuff like this, but you guys can see all these logs in here need to go back. All these logs right there need to work their way up to the front. These ones here, these ones here. Anything thick needs to go up, and then anything small needs to go back. So we're gonna grab ourselves a little special guest on the vlog, and we're gonna get back to work. This special guest of ours is really, really excited to help out. Hey, little Jack, welcome to the vlog, man. Everyone's been asking about you lately. He lives a really busy life. life, guys. He wakes up every day in his PJs, onesie pajamas with the footies, you know what I'm saying? It's nice and comfortable. He gets fed, then he plays, then maybe he'll poop if he feels like it, and then he'll eat some baby food, maybe a pancake or two, and then I'll take a nap, then I'll wake back up and I'll eat again, and then I'll go play, and then I'll eat some more, and then I'll take a nap. And he gets carried around and kissed a whole bunch because we love him so much. So he's a real busy guy, but he carved out a little bit of time in his schedule today to come outside and play, because being in the machine is quickly becoming one of his favorite things. Want to move some stuff around, buddy? You ready? He's just staring at the machine right now. I already got it all warmed up for you too, boss man. I just wanted to make sure you had everything ready to rock and roll. What's that? Is that you? All right, we got your seatbelt on. Strap down. Let's put the safety bars down. That's where you hold on, right? He loves this thing, guys. We've got some branches to move to get to some logs. We're gonna focus on the logs right now. Ready to rock, dude. Let's throttle up. Oh, that's a good one, right, buddy? Yeah. Oh boys, the property is actually starting to take shape, and this is a really exciting thing for me, guys. As I stand here amidst a whole bunch of uneven grade and sticks and limbs and debris and brush just kind of littered everywhere, I see what's on the horizon, and that's really the culmination of a process that's been nearly 5 months in the making. We actually started requesting the build approval ultimately for this building back in December. And it's quite the coordination of events. It's not just like, hey, I have 10 acres and I want to use my money to build a building on my 10 acres. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. You actually have to go to the township at B, the government at B, and ask them if you can do that. And then they ask you for a series of plans and they want you to kind of think through all of these details. So that opens up this whole new network of things that you have to do. You have to coordinate with specific excavators. You have to arrange for building. You have to actually coordinate the cost of materials. To anybody that's in the construction space or anybody that's doing a renovation right now, or potentially even building a house or an accessory building like I am, you know that the cost of materials has increased tremendously. The cost of lumber, yeah, that's not really lumber, but yeah, the cost of lumber has gone up significantly for a multitude of reasons, all speculated in the lumber market right now. So we're essentially just trying to coordinate all of these different variables. We know that we're gonna be building a pole building that is 80 foot by 60 foot, roughly 4,800 square foot, and it's gonna be going right kind of in this general vicinity where you see those big rocks is going to be the front of the building. And right here where the skid steer is, over to kind of that far stump, right there is going to be the back side of it. So it's going to occupy a significant amount of ground, but that's the easy part. The coordination of all of the other details, some of which I just elaborated on, is kind of the challenging thing. So it's one step at a time. And the first step ultimately was with the resource of Forrest coming out here and actually helping us fell the trees. And then of course, using the 90 like we just did to clean up the ground was really just phase one. Phase two is going to come in another vlog, hopefully here soon on the channel, where we are actually going to begin working on doing the physical ground preparation for what the building requires to stand structurally safe and sound. There's still a little bit of cleanup that we have to do in here. I gotta kind of grub some of this stuff, so doing a lot of back dragging with the bucket, accumulating piles like that one right there, where we're basically getting all of this stuff here off of the ground. We kind of need to collect it all up. Then we got to come in here with a big old excavator, and we actually have to degrub rocks. We have to degrub stumps. We have to degrub pretty much anything else that's in the way. That way we can progress. As you guys can see, we've got a massive brush pile there at the back of the property. To those of you that have been with us since we moved here to the new property, you guys would know that I had another massive pile of brush that we actually ended up burning our way through, and I felt really good. I felt like all of it was lifted off of my shoulders. I didn't have this massive ugly brush pile that was like just occupying a space on my land. Yeah, but now we're back to that, except casually, you know, like the brush pile is like 3 times the size. But anyway, it's kind of all part of the process, and we're wrapping up a really successful day here on the vlog. We got a lot of stuff done, and I'm really excited about the fact that this is like the beginning mark, kind of stake in the ground of the beginning of what is the pole building, my friends. It is a super exciting thing, and it's going to bring so much to the channel. I just can't wait. I wish I could just like do one of those magic tricks in the vlog, but I think it's broken. And my goodness, let's just soak in the beautiful spring sunset here at Rocky Ridge. My goodness, I'll take that all day of the week. So that being said, guys, grab your entries for Lucifer over there, hooked up to the gooseneck. Put him to work today in the vlog, picking up that new grapple. And this is your last chance where your entries count towards not only Lucifer and the 30 grand, but also the KTM 500 EXC. So one of you is going to be taking home that bike with those KTM straps, and one of you is going to be taking home Lucifer and $30,000. Which one of you? Only time will tell. My friends, thank you so much for watching. As always, tap that subscribe button, like button, and notification bell, and I will see you all in the next upload.